It's a motherfucking Coco, baby. What up, everybody? It's your boy, Coco. Welcome back to another episode of Chaos Child. If you're new to the channel, consider liking, subscribing, and hitting that notification bell. And if you already subscribed to the channel, go ahead and hit that like button. With that being said, let's go ahead and hit that intro, and we'll get things started. Okay, we go ahead and get the game started. Teach me how to Dougie. Teach me how to Dougie. Everybody Dougie. Everybody Dougie. Everybody Dougie. Everybody Dougie. Everybody Dougie. Dougie. Everybody Dougie. Gotta teach you how to Dougie. I'll teach you how to cocoa bananas. Teach you how to cocoa bananas. Alright, so let me go ahead and raise the volume on this. Bro, I was in the stream even before it started. I know you were. But you was on some yee shit. You're very close to getting you're very close to getting moderator privileges, so don't worry. Your time will come. You're very close, you're very close. Alright, let's see what's going on here. When we need some, what the fuck? That's some Maruku shit. Alright, let's go ahead and get things started. So last episode, we were seeing about... So, there were a couple of cases of people who ended up committing kind of suicide and kind of hurting themselves in a very morbid way. And there were some crimes that were happening. Basically, all of this started happening in Shibuya because there was a big ass earthquake. A lot of people were kind of suspicious about this earthquake, and everybody pretty much started rebuilding from the ground up. So now, fast forward to the incidents. There's somebody investigating these crimes, and then we find out that it's actually a teenager who's in high school, and he actually has a couple of friends that are helping him out with this. So last episode, we ended up finding out that there's these stickers that are very weird and are appearing all over the city, that are faces of sumo wrestlers, and they're very hard to take off. People see them, they end up having accidents. There's something very mysterious behind these incidents. So let's go ahead and continue from here, and we'll see what the story leads us. So it's kind of like a Bird Box, right? Except a little more retarded. What the fuck? No. You'll see how it is. It's crazy. Let me go ahead and read the volume. Miyashiro, you again? What did you do this time? Kawahara cut her off. I didn't know his first name. He was in the same class as Ito and I, and he was the vice president of the student council. No, you don't need to tell me. You were pretending to be a reporter again, right? Or was it a detective? So basically, the first case we saw, that was pretty much a streamer. A streamer ended up killing himself, cutting his arm off, and he ate his arm. Pretty much there was a karaoke place across that crime scene, and what they're discussing here is that one of them went over there and took pictures from that location. I knew why he was giving me a hard time. He didn't like the fact that Kurusu was spending time with me. It's not. Nani? It's not any of your business, bitch ass nibba. It is my business. When you take up Kurusu's time, you can cause trouble for me and the rest of the student council. Remember, these are kids who are in a high school where they're not giving them a lot of homework and putting pressure on them, because remember, the high school is still fresh. After this earthquake, it destroyed a lot of people. I'm not wasting my time with this. There's no point. I try to ignore him and just walk on by. So I heard you skipped most of elementary and middle school, is that true? I could feel my legs tense up. I stopped. My face got hot, and without thinking, I glared accusingly at Kurusu. She quickly shook her head. Kurusu! Look at Kurusu, baby girl. Waifu number 1. Kawahara, I'm really in a hurry right now. Motherfucker got tight. But he kept on staring at me. I felt like he was grinning a little. It pissed me off. But there was nothing I could say. I did the best I could to ignore him and turn away. I ignored what sounded like a little laugh and hurried to the club room. and tapped the data printouts on 2 cases with her finger. Kazuki, what's wrong? She did it again. I saw the part she was pointing at and nodded. That's right. The dates. The 7th? The 19th? That's what they have in common. Strange deaths on September 7th and September 19th. Ring a bell? I kept looking at Ito. Usually he would be the one to pick up on this. A second later... Oh. He froze. He must have figured it out. Yup. With your love of weird murders, you know what I'm talking about. I pinned the images I just printed out onto the bulletin board's map. September 7th, the group dive. September 19th, the pregnant man. September 29th, crucified. October 10th, the vampire. October 23rd, brain dead. October 28th, yummy hand. November 4th, the DQN puzzle. The new generation madness. Are you guys seeing all of this? Are you guys seeing all of this? Yeah, we're gonna do cringe. There's a connection between all these murders, and each of them, I don't know if you guys were able to focus on each of the pictures. There's people being hung on top of posts, people's blood being sucked out, people's bodies being mutilated. That's crazy. The game is actually following the manga very, very closely. 6 years ago in 2009, a series of strange deaths had occurred just before the earthquake that struck Shibuya on November 6th. They became famous for the words left at the scene of every crime. Those eyes, whose eyes? Some nani shit right there. They called the killings the new generation madness. The murders took place in Shibuya, but the whole country took an interest in them. At the time I was in 6th grade, and just like a lot of people, I followed every new development on the internet. The dates match up exactly with the dates of the murders 6 years ago, and they may be set up to look like suicides, but they're every bit as weird as the old killings. It's a coincidence. She seemed to be trying to force the words out of her throat. Kurusu was acting a little strange. Her arms clutched her torso even tighter. Vice President? Maybe it was because of all the creepy pictures she'd seen. Kurusu was clearly shaking. She tried her best to stop it as she spoke. Stop trying to connect every little event. It's just a coincidence that they line up. We'll know for sure soon. The third new generation madness took place on September 29th. In other words, today. If something weird happens in Shibuya again, we'll know for sure. If a coincidence happens 3 times, it's not a coincidence anymore. A phone rang. It was mine. Yes. Help. There's been a murder. Or maybe an accident. Anyway, I think what you said might have happened. Oh shit. I could feel my heart starting to race as she spoke. It was a love hotel area in Dogenzaka, 5 minutes from Shibuya Station. A few days ago, there had been some kind of suspicious fire here, and I'd come to do some reporting. The place was supposedly a love hotel spot, but even at night when business should have been booming, it wasn't particularly exciting. During the day, when all the lights were turned off, if you didn't look at the signs, it wouldn't look very different from your average neighborhood. One of the buildings was a 4-story love hotel with the terrible name Fairy's Dance. It faced a narrow street. There was no parking lot, so the police car was parked at a meter nearby. This way! Sarika was standing in front of the general store some distance away. She was supposed to be spending the day taking photos of the area around the last 2 crime scenes. What happened? I don't know. I passed by Jen near 107, and he told me something was up here. How long you doing this for? Why not Spooky then for one? We already did Spooky. There's nothing else to watch for Spooky. So like I got slapped because I said furries are... What the fuck? I just don't get that guy. Where does he find out about this stuff? It's helpful, so I guess it doesn't matter too much. If there is time, I'll do a cringe. We'll play a game and then we'll do a Spooky. I'll just have to find more Japanese videos, which there are a lot, and we can look at them, so no worries. Jen was a homeless man I knew who had sold me all the books in my secret stash. I'll probably do this for like a little bit more. Let's complete the hour and 15 minutes and then we'll call it a day, okay? He was a drunk who claimed to be of the noble blood, but the stories he told me about his past didn't sound very noble at all. The guy was a weirdo, but since he spent all his time wandering around Shibuya, he knew a surprising amount of info about it. But it seems like something's really happening though. The policeman who just went in looked like he was asking for backup. I see. I decided to start by taking a video of the outside of the hotel with my smartphone. You really run fast at times like these. I'd left the 2 of them in the club room, and they'd only just now caught up with me. They must have ran here. Ito especially was breathing very heavily. What? Kurusu came too? Kazuki had decided not to come, evidently. Of course not. I've never seen her outside except when we were going to and from school. So, did something happen? I told Ito what I'd heard from Sarika. He seemed really disappointed. What? You sure it's not just some couple that had a fight? Would you call reinforcements just for that? And today's the 29th, you know. I told you, you're overthinking this. Kurusu seemed upset. She glanced at the love hotels around her in disgust. Let's get back to school. This isn't a place where students are supposed to be. What if one of the security cameras spots us? She probably didn't want to get involved. Ever since the rebuilding, there had been more cameras around Shibuya than ever before, even around the love hotels. In our school uniforms, we probably stood out. Kurusu motioned for us to go home. And then... I saw something in the viewfinder. On the 3rd floor of the Love Hotel, the windows in one of the rooms facing the alley were open. Oh shit, oh shit. So I like got slapped. What the hell? So are you guys seeing this, right? The window has something out there that looks red. The windows must have been all the way open because the curtains were fluttering out. Hey, you normally don't open the windows in a place like this, do you? I asked Ito as I looked up at them. Yeah, probably not. I don't know. I've never been to one. Oh. Ito followed my gaze and saw it for himself. It felt suspicious. I had never been into a love hotel either, so I didn't know, but normally you'd keep the window shut, right? You wouldn't want people seeing or hearing what you were doing. And then suddenly I heard a sound from somewhere. It was a calming song with a simple melody. I took a closer listen. Was it a music box? It definitely was. It was coming from the room with the open windows. It sounded like it was inviting us in. What was going on? I looked around. The buildings across from the open window was another love hotel, but it had no windows on that side. I couldn't look into the building like I'd done with this karaoke box last week, and I certainly couldn't climb the way up. Wait, what are you thinking? I must have had a pensive look on my face because Kurusu turned to me and asked, if we can get inside without them finding us. I looked over at the parking meters. There was still only one car. Okay. There should be a rear entrance somewhere, so let's do it before the police backup gets here. Ito, go around from that side. Okay. Yo, now it got super interesting right now. I wonder what they're gonna find upstairs. I'll take this side. So, even though I've read the manga a long time ago, it's very blurry for me, and I only remember bits and pieces. Just keep that in mind. Takuru, stop. Look at me. I began to go around the building, not waiting for Ito's answer, but Kurusu grabbed my arm. You can't do this. This is way beyond what a high school club should be involved in. Won't you listen to me? Crap. She was just a millimeter short of making that face again. And this is one of those dirty hotels too, isn't it? Also, what if you get caught up in something weird? I knew all that, but I didn't want to give up. This might be my chance to get a real scoop. What if you get expelled? As your big sister, I can't let you put yourself in danger. That's his big yeah, what the fuck? Never mind. Sister? That's what I was gonna say. She's not his. That's what I was gonna say. She's not. Why is she saying that? We're not actually family, are we? Stop it. Suddenly, Serika ran over and tackled Kurusu. The momentum slammed both of them into the ground. Oh, Serika. What was that for? No fighting. None. Taku, the motto of the newspaper club is that all 5 of us are friends, right? No, that was never our motto. Shin, you need to stop them too. Oh, wait. Where were you? Oh, that's right. This is no time for fighting, Taku. She suddenly hopped up like a cheap toy. The back door is open. What? I was thirsty, but I couldn't find a vending machine, so I decided to look inside the hotel, so I went around to check the back door and opened it. Oh my god, so she actually went in the back door. I wonder what they're gonna find in there. Then I went inside and there was a vending machine, and I said to myself, way to go, fairies dance. And then I bought a drink and gulped it down and then said, wait a second. What? You always get ahead of yourself. So Taku, what's the plan? I could tell that Kurusu was glaring at me. But she didn't say anything. She couldn't say anything. Let's go together. If we pretend to be a couple, we might be able to fool them if it comes to that. As soon as the words were out of my mouth, Sarika beckoned me to follow her. I did. I didn't say it, but in my heart I apologized to Kurusu as I went. Of course, she couldn't hear me, so she didn't say anything. Oh my god. The stairs are over there, though. We went inside the hotel from the rear entrance and hid behind the corner that led to the lobby. This was my first time inside of a love hotel, and it was a lot less gaudy than I expected. The name was false advertising. There were no fairies and no one was dancing. Wait, so they're siblings or just hella close before the earthquake happened? They were hella close before the earthquake happened. Let's just say that before that happened, they lost family members and they were all they had left after the earthquake happened, so. Maybe the quiet atmosphere was a selling point. But just send someone back here. What? No, ask Shinjo. The quiet was ruined by a sound of a police officer screaming into his phone. I thought it was gonna turn into a trash-ass sibling. No, not like that. He was either confused or just excited because he kept saying the same things over and over again. Something had happened after all, and something bad enough that he needed backup. This was my chance. If we could get into the scene before the place was overflowing with cops, we might be able to find an unexpected scoop. Yes, there's no doubt about it. I checked, but I can't decide that on my own. No, I told you, that's not what's going on. I do know that the two friends are close. They usually call each other brother and sister, usually when they're friends for over 6 years or so, yeah. That cop was in the way. Whether we took the stairs or the elevator, we needed to go through the lobby to get to them. Taku, let's go. Huh? Hurry. Wait. Sarika took me by the arm as if we were a couple and entered the lobby without trying to hide it at all. Hey, come on. She ignored me and walked straight for the stairs. Hey! The cop must have seen us because he yelled at us from behind. Shit! He probably hadn't seen our faces. Should we run? No, that would just make us look suspicious. I told you not to leave your rooms. Yes? No? Sorry, it's okay. Forget that, I need that backup. He started to mumble into the phone. We crossed the lobby without looking back. Don't do anything too crazy. But you were right. We were able to fool him. That scared me. That was a close call. My heart was pounding so loud that the noise was making me sick. Could he not tell that we were high school students? No, even if he only saw us from behind, he'd be able to tell by our uniforms. Why didn't he arrest us? Maybe he was panicking so much that the thought never occurred to him. Okay, what's the next step? Sarika let go of my arm and turned towards me. That's right. Now wasn't the time for thinking about other things. We don't know whether or not that room on the 3rd floor is what we're after, but we should start there. If that doesn't work, we try other places. Once the police backup arrives, we leave. But from the way that officer was acting, something was definitely up. We need to get photos before we go. It was quiet. The policeman's voice was still drifting up the stairs, but it only made the quiet seem more oppressive. Just like he'd said, the customers had probably been told not to leave their rooms. It was too late for it to matter now, but I was starting to feel a little scared. Come to think of it, if something had happened, maybe the killer was still here. Taku, you're fighting with Non again, aren't you? Sarika's voice was relaxed. I was grateful. I'd take any opportunity to relieve this tension. It wasn't really a fight. No, maybe it was. But you're still calling her Kurusu, right? I know how you feel, but isn't there something you can do? Until half a year ago, I'd called her Nono, her first name. After the incident that had caused me to leave the dorm, I've never called her that again. As long as I kept calling her Kurusu, she'd keep being mad at me. It must have been hurting some important part of her. The next thing I knew, we were on the 3rd floor. Sarika had gotten ahead of me at some point and was poking her head around the corner and into the hallway. Nobody's here, I think. Good. I took out my phone and got ready to record. The fuck is going on? As soon as I went into the 3rd floor hallway, I found myself holding my breath. My heart was pounding even louder than when the cop had yelled at us. I tried to control myself and looked down the corridor. The rooms must have been very big because the gap between the doors was large. The floor was red, sinking into black as the hallway stretched away. I could hear the unpleasant sound of blowing air. They must have had the air conditioning on. There were no windows and there wasn't a lot of light, so the hallway looked pretty creepy, but there was nothing out of the ordinary about it otherwise. But still, it was strange. The air felt solid. It felt like someone would jump out from the shadows the second you let your guard down, or perhaps that there were traps scattered everywhere along the floor. For a second, the floor seemed to be stained with blood, but I shook that image out of my mind. What was this? It was like the fear you feel in the darkness at night. Was it just because there was so little light? No, it was worse than that. It felt like someone was watching me and enjoying my unease. It was like they were peering deep into my heart.
Taku?
I almost jumped off the ground with a start.
どうしたの?
Huh? What's wrong? Don't just talk to me like that. You scared the hell out of me. It's nothing. Hey, isn't this kind of weird? I gestured with my head down the hallway. Sarika looked past me into the darkness.
そりゃ
Well, it's creepy because it's so dim,
雰囲気作り
but
とかじゃない
isn't
の?
that just to set the mood? Was it? Was that all? Was I being too sensitive? I tried flipping the light switch on the wall next to me, but nothing happened. Maybe the bulbs were burned out, or maybe it wasn't the switch for this hallway at all. Damn it. Door. Room 306. Oh shit, here we go. I listened carefully but didn't hear anything. Just a quiet mumble of the air conditioner.
覗き穴とかないの?
Is there a peephole? Come on.
ここはラブホテルだぞ。
This is a love hotel.
ああ、そっか。
Alright.
おい、何を。
Hey, what are you
ノック。
knocking?
お前な。
You can't. What if someone really answered the door?
ちょ。
Wait. There was a loud sound. I quickly glanced around to see if anyone heard what Sarika said.
開かないね。
It's not opening.
鍵をこっそり
Maybe I
借りてくれ
should
ば
have
よかったかな。
borrowed the key. There was no answer from inside. Probably.
タク?
Taku, what's wrong?
いや、
No, never mind. Damn it. It felt kind of ridiculous for me to be so serious.
警察もいないし。
The police aren't here
この
either.
階じゃないのかもな。
Maybe it's not this floor. That was broken glass, by the way. What up, Nani? I'm almost ending the stream. I flinched back at the sudden noise. Was that the sound of breaking glass?
隣から
It was from the next room over, right? She was clinging to my back in surprise with her hands on my shoulders.
多分
I think so. It came from further down, right? Sarika pointed to the next room. We stood there for a moment. The violent sound must have scared her because Sarika's easygoing mood had totally vanished. But we waited for a while and nothing more happened. There were no voices or sounds of struggle. The hallway was the same as ever. But was I imagining it, or was the hall a little darker than before? Should we go back? Sarika didn't answer my question. She didn't seem afraid, but she had a serious look on her face as she stared down the hallway. Maybe something had happened, and the killer was still there. No, wait, I needed to think about this rationally. There was an officer on the first floor who called for backup. Usually when a call came in, the police never came there alone. There was always more than one. I'd found that out for myself during my reporting, so I was sure of it. So there had to be another officer at the scene. The killer couldn't just be hiding there. If there was any chance of that, the cop wouldn't have just told us to go back to our rooms. Did the killer break the glass during the struggle? No, that didn't make sense either. If there was any chance of them being able to do that, would that officer have gone downstairs? He'd probably gone down there to tell the front desk not to let anyone else in. Damn it. I had no proof. But it should be okay. More than anything, I hadn't taken any photos yet. What? I jumped, literally, when I heard the sudden sound. It was a very strange sound, one that didn't belong here at all. I looked and saw that Sarika had gotten so nervous, she'd taken out her Ghetto Froggy Geroro strap and started to play with it. She probably didn't even know she was doing it. I softly poked her with my elbow. I motioned for her to keep quiet and she seemed confused, but then she realized that she was doing it quickly and put the strap back into her pocket. This is getting hella good. Did you know that in Japan, when girls turn 14, they get treated as an adult, not for sex? Kind of like the shit for Mexican girls when they turn 15. Oh, like quinceañera, right? As soon as she was done, I looked down the hall once more, all the way to the front of the room. We should head there. I tried to steel myself, then checked over my shoulder once more to make sure no one was there. I started to walk forward very carefully. I was afraid of making even the slightest sound. Sarika followed me wordlessly, with her hand on my shoulder. I grabbed her hand with my free hand. The other was holding my smartphone. She squeezed it tight. The feeling of her fingers kept me strong as I walked forward. The next room. Room 305, the room at the far end of the hallway. Just like room 306, it had a plain old door, but it felt like it was exuding an intense pressure.
ここからだよね
This is where it came from, right? She was asking about the sound.
多分な
I think so. I answered despite not having any proof at all. We waited but still heard nothing. I looked around once more to make sure no one was there, then put my ear up against the door. And then I heard a small sound. It was the sound that I heard outside, the sound from the windows, like a music box playing. gulped and realized my lips were dry. I ran my tongue over them to wet them a little, and then I realized my heart was pounding. The sound was so loud I thought my heart might have somehow moved up into my ears. There was just the sound of the music box. I looked from the one part of the room to another to make sure nothing was amiss. And then I slowly moved forward. Someone was lying on the floor. When my eyes adjusted to the gloom, I saw... Oh shit! A police officer. And a woman. The officer was lying up against the bathroom with his legs splayed and his head drooping. The girl was lying on the floor face down. They showed no sign of noticing us. No, that wasn't right. The glass behind them was shattered into 1,000 pieces. Crap. The second I understood what was going on, the hand holding the smartphone started to shake. Crap, crap, crap. I could see a little blood dripping off the police officer's head. I spun around as I heard the sound. The warmth drained from my face in an instant and my whole body shivered. Someone was sitting on the bed. I staggered back and slammed into Sarika. Let's get out of here. Now. But I couldn't move. My hand was frozen and it pointed my smartphone towards whoever was behind the curtain, and it wasn't doing what I told it. Damn it. I took a step back, tripped, and then fell to the floor. My lungs weren't working right. The silhouette moved a little and I flinched. No, it didn't move. The bed was rotating. Whoever was behind the curtain showed us no sign of noticing us. They didn't budge an inch. What the hell is going on here? Taco, the door won't open. Sarika's voice sounded like it was far away. I ran back to the entrance and slammed myself into the door. It wasn't opening. It wasn't opening. I don't know. Sarika yelled back at me. Why? Why? Sarika screamed as she slammed against the door. I helped her try to batter it down. But it didn't work. It was like trying to batter down a wall. Suddenly, I heard a knock at the door. I reflexively jumped away without thinking. That's the same knocks from the stream. What the fuck? The same knocks from the stream where the guy killed himself. It was coming from this door. The knocking was rhythmic and constant. What? It was just a knock at the door. But my whole body started to shake. Someone was on the other side of the door. Someone was knocking. It definitely wasn't the police. It felt as if my sanity was boiling away, melting out from the soles of my feet and upward. No. No. Don't open that door. Right, go out the back. Let's use the window. I grabbed Sarika's hand and ran to the back of the room. And fell silent at what I saw. No. What was that? The curtain was open. There was a man there sitting. No, he was moving slowly. The bed was moving in time to the sound of the music box. An eerie sound came from the wire wrapped around his neck. The wire was hanging down from the ceiling, choking him. His face was all puffed up in a color I'd never seen before. His pants were wet and the stain extended to the bed itself. The smell of piss and shit hung in my nose. He wasn't alive, he was dead. What the hell is this? Why was he dead? Did he suffocate? Why was the curtain open? And what the hell was he doing? Why was he dead? My right hand moved without me realizing it. Huh? I needed to use the window to escape, but I pointed my phone's camera at the body instead. We need to get out of here. The body spun slowly. Each time it went around, the wire made an awful sound and dug deeper into his neck. I had dug in so deep by now that the man's neck was the size of my wrist. The skin must have been broken because it was bleeding a little. Whoa, what am I doing? Sarika was right next to me, but her voice sounded far away, like she was talking through a cell phone. I needed to get out of here, but I couldn't stop the filming. Why was I doing this? Why was he dead? The wire dug deeper and deeper into his neck without waiting for me to come up with an answer. The body turned away from me. I could see the back of his neck. The flesh around the wire was swollen red and black. I heard a muffled sound like something hard snapping inside of a bag. The head slumped just a little. His neck had just broken. That must have been the sound of the neck breaking. Taku, let's get out of here. I could hear Sarika's voice. Get out of here? Get out of here? That's right. I need to get out of here. My body moved as I heard another sound. I spun around. What the fuck? Dragon Fox Sin, we're gonna do cringe macanonis after this, okay? We're gonna do cringy. What the fuck? I screamed. And then I heard something from behind me. I don't know what I did. But the next thing I knew, my whole field of vision had turned red. Then I felt something like a ball hit me. Before I knew it, it faded back to black. Oh my lord, my lord. It's pretty good. September 30th, 2015, Wednesday. midnight. We're gonna leave it there for now. That was too good. We're gonna leave it there. We've been doing this for like an hour and 30 minutes. I gotta go and set up for spooky macanonis. We've been doing this for an hour and 30 minutes. I want to do spooky macanonis. That way we leave it with a cliffhanger. So that way next time we actually go ahead and pick up from there. But my god. The third murder scene was actually the one that did it for me. The first and the second one was actually creepy, but then this third one, I have so many questions, and I'm sure you guys have questions as well. Because then it will take the fun away from it. That way you can expect, you'll be anxious to see the next episode, right? That's the way I'm feeling. I wish I could keep playing it, but I want to give myself a little bit of a break. We're gonna leave it there for now, but if you are enjoying the stream, don't forget to hit that like button, and if you're new, consider subscribing, liking, and hitting that notification bell. That way you stay tuned with the streams. I'm gonna go ahead and set up for cringy macanonis. I am enjoying the shit out of this game, and I hope you guys too. With that being said, my boys and girls, I'm gonna leave it there for now. Thanks for coming through. I'm gonna leave you with the outro, and I'll see you in a little bit, in 15 minutes, for cringy macanonis. After that, we're gonna do South Park and then Persona 5. Thanks for coming through. Don't forget to hit that like button. Peace.